Now, the body is a reactive organism. If it weren't, it would die before the day was over. The body, if it touches a hot stove, isn't supposed to stand and think, you know, that's a hot stove and it's melting my fingers and burning up my nervous system, and should I take my hand off or not? No, it goes like, see, you don't, that's reactive. I don't have to tell my heart, I want you to keep beating, keep pumping blood, and I'll tell you when to start and stop. No, I don't have to. The body is a sum total of reactive things. Sex is reactive. Whoop! When it happens, it happens. It isn't like, I'm choosing now, thoughtfully, to have the hots for you. No, it doesn't work that way. Something coming at my eye, I don't say, gee, there's something coming at my eye. I wonder if it hits me in the eye, will it hurt? Or cause me to be blind? No. So there's all this automatic stuff. The body, you could say, is reactive, and it's supposed to be, because it couldn't survive with all the threats and possibilities in life, past and present, unless it could react without having to think or do anything other than just react for its own, whether to fight or to flee. Now, there's 5 guys, I'm going to outrun them. There's 1 guy, I'm going to fight. No. But everything about the body is like reactive, and it is supposed to be. But it appears possible that there's something about you that doesn't have to be reactive. There's something about you that can recover from being reactive and be able to think clearly and behave clearly and regain power of choice rather than reaction, which is not to say that the body doesn't continue to be a reactive thing. It's supposed to be, and that's true of practically every species. You have stimulus and response, and that makes the survival of a species possible. But for an intelligence, for something that has been called soul or spirit or whatever we really are, it appears that it's possible, not guaranteed, but possible to identify whatever that is and to clear up its confusions with the body that it either inhabits or holds on to or is being. It's possible to let the body continue to be a reactive thing, a carbon-oxygen engine that runs at 98.6 and is born, lives, and dies. It's possible to contact something connected with human beings that is not that. It's been given all kinds of names by all kinds of philosophies and religions. Soul, spirit, blah, 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 blah. I don't have any name for it. I just know that it's something that can be contacted in me and in others that is not simply, it isn't tangible. It has no weight. It isn't born. It doesn't die. It isn't alive or dead. Just something that is, and it's aware. It's an awareness unit. In fact, in Scientology, it's called an awareness of awareness unit. It's aware of being aware. There's a lot of unawareness, but this is aware of being aware. And it's the difference between being very, very alive and not being quite so alive. So one of the things from both Dianetics and Scientology is the chance for there to be a distinction between that which is aware and is aware of being aware and doesn't have to react but has power of choice, consideration. It's inventive, it's imaginative, it can create and imagine universes. It can make nothing of itself or something. It has all these capabilities which bodies don't have. They can procreate and make more bodies. But whatever this is, and for all I know, it's a function of the body that has been called something else, but it really is just the possibility. But I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't either. But it appears to be something that's extra human, extra physical. No promises or proofs in that connection, just that there are processes and procedures in both Dianetics and Scientology that seem to bring about an awakening of such a consciousness. Maybe it's already awake. One of the things that Hubbard finally had to own up to was that in other practices, not just Dianetics and Scientology, but other religious groups, other philosophies, other things, people have become conscious, have become aware of extraordinary abilities, have had great perceptual events and realizations occur in their life. He even eventually had to admit that some people were naturally clear, that it wasn't only through Dianetics and Scientology, like we're the only way to get free. We aren't. Other things do work, and have worked, and will continue to work. And some of what we achieve, Dianetics and Scientology, is also achievable and has been in other things, philosophies and practices and so forth. One of the things you have to do if you're working with someone as a Scientologist, as an auditor, is take into account that they may have had many mind-blowing realizations in life that have failed to ever be acknowledged or fully recognized or carried on. Because you say, you had this experience, you must be crazy. So you're out of your body? I don't believe it. So you can take someone, and one of the things you should do before you really go into auditing with them is rehabilitate previous moments when they may have been clear, when they may have had experience of being out of the body, or all kinds of realizations. But you should take those into account, restore them to the person, validate the hell out of them, acknowledge them, and it's possible that the person really doesn't need any auditing other than that. That in itself is enough. You could start a whole organization that did nothing but just take regular people, if they wanted, and find out what achievements they've actually made that are way beyond anything ordinary, and through various techniques bring that back to life in the person. Because that's essentially what we're doing anyway in Dianetics and Scientology, is simply restoring a person to their own greatness, or helping them to it. They're already infinity embodied. They're already total understanding. They're already, all you're doing is helping them to remember and re-experience and say, oh, and it's not the first time. So we enter into the possibilities in para-Scientology, para-Dianetics, that whatever people really are has had previous existence, maybe. And that in those moments of previous existence, gosh knows what you can find to rehabilitate about what they once were and where they were once and what they were being. Sky's the limit. But you don't have to go all that way. You can, and you can proceed on a gradient. You don't have to. Even though someone comes in to have a communication course, And for the first time in their ordinary life, they're asked to sit, face another person, and just be there. They can blink. It's not like a serious thing, but they're not going to look at the person like this. They're going to just look and be there and be aware. And I've personally seen people experience the most incredible, most mind-blowing results. You'd think that they had, just shot up cocaine or something. I mean, they get completely blown out of their mind in a good way. They have a tremendous experience of the type that, like in Buddhist meditation, when you have this giant realization or understanding, it's called a satori. It's like I suddenly realized I'm an immortal, or I suddenly realized that I know, or I suddenly, called satori. But in most religious practices, when a satori occurs, it's like, well, thank you, and good, now just keep going. You don't have to, I have just attained the state of clear or clarity. Labels. You don't want a person putting fixed labels, because time involves change. They may today say, I'm clear, and wake up next week say, I don't feel clear anymore. I guess I better get my wallet and head for the nearest clear station. Just, hey, you've had a satori. That's wonderful. What are you going to do with it? Good. Go out and do that. Don't hang around trying to make sure each day, am I as clear as I was yesterday? No. Don't even try to be. Try to live